Hi, today I'm going to tell you about present continuous tense. Of course, this is continuous tense, but the tense that we use to talk about the situations that are happening in the moment of speaking. So, for example, right now, as I'm sitting here and telling you about present continuous tense, of course, I'm using this tense because I'm talking about an activity which is happening in the moment of speaking. But it's not the only condition, not the only moment when we can use this tense, because we can also talk about the situations that maybe are not happening right now, because right now, I'm sitting and talking about present continuous. But the situations which are temporary means that they are not happening right now as I'm sitting here and talking to you, but in this particular moment of my life. Because imagine that I'm reading an interesting book right now. Not right now, because I'm talking about English right now. But in this particular moment of my life, I'm reading an interesting book. You can also talk about processes, about situations that are changing. As you can hear, I'm also, even to describe this situation, I'm using the present continuous tense. For example, the unemployment is rising means that this process is not stopped, but it is higher and higher and higher. So the process is changing. You can also talk about your plans, and these are the plans that are, let's say, yours or other people. So these aren't the plans that someone makes for you and you have to adjust. You need to take them and behave accordingly. But these are the plans like, I'm throwing a party this weekend, or I'm flying to Berlin next Saturday. And as you can see from these examples, these kinds of sentences include time phrases which talk about the future, because I'm talking about this Friday. Today is Wednesday when I'm recording this movie. Or, for example, I'm talking about next week, next month, next year, whatever. When it comes to technical stuff, to make a sentence in this tense, you always need two elements to make a verb, because this is the verb to be, which is given in its personal form depending on the person that is the subject of your sentence, and another verb with ing ending. And we are talking about this ing ending, so it's always good to remind the spelling rules about, putting this verb and ending together. So the majority of verbs just take this ending without any trouble, without any changes in the word. But if your word happens to finish with the letter E for elephant, you always need to remember to cancel this letter and then add the ending ing. If you happen that you are going to use the word, the verb that finishes in a very particular pattern, which is consonant, vowel and consonant. Like, for example, the word sit. You always need to remember that this last letter is doubled, and then we add the ending ing. So that's why you have, for example, the word sitting written with double T. To give you some examples, I'm talking about English right now. She is drinking cola. My friend is eating a sandwich. To make a question, this is a very simple thing, because I suppose that you remember how to make a question with the verb to be. There isn't any difference in this case, because you just need to take this verb be, the personal form, and put it just before your subject, so just before the person, so that you use the inversion. For example, am I talking about English? Is she drinking cola? Is my friend eating a sandwich? To make a negative sentence, you add not to your personal form of the verb to be. And you can use the longer form, like, for example, I'm not talking about English right now, or she is not drinking cola, or my friend is not eating a sandwich. But you can also use these shorter forms, like for example, I'm not, she isn't, my friend isn't. Short answers. When it comes to short answers, our short answers are exactly the same as for the verb to be. So, this last element is the verb that is given in our short answer. For example, yes, I am, yes, you are, yes, she is, yes, they are. Or, no, I'm not, no, you aren't, no, she isn't, no, they aren't. So I suppose that, I suppose that right now you're thinking about, okay, so how should I differentiate the both tenses? So the present simple and the present continuous. So the technical stuff, so how to make sentences in both of the tenses, I suppose are right now very clear for you. But the difference in the usage is that present simple tense will always tell you about the things which are fixed, constant, which are your habits, which are always true. And the present continuous will tell you about the things which are changing or which are temporary. Of course, you can mix these two tenses, and I'm going to give you an example, including the both tenses in one sentence. For example, I usually wear blue jeans, but today I'm wearing a dark skirt. So the first part of the sentence, I usually wear blue jeans, is my habit, and this is present simple. But today I'm wearing a dark skirt. So this second part of the sentence tells you about the situation which is temporary, which isn't my habit, and which is happening today.